so far, your space can hold how many people?
My space can take around 15 to 20 people
Okay.
at one time.
At one time?
Yeah, it's not a very huge studio, but it's a decent size.
And how many people do you need per class a day to break even?
50.
You need 50 people.
50 to not break even, to cover the cost.
You need 50 people a day?
Yes. So, cover the cost.
50 people a day.
50 members, yeah, that's
50.
Yes.
A lot of parents hide away their children that have difficulties, or I think the term nowadays is not neurodysfunction, neuro alternative, neuro something.
Okay.
And so they often don't get treatment, or they just,
They're shy. They're shy.
That's one way of putting it.
Yeah. And in my book also, I have mentioned such parents, and I've requested them that, please, if you want the world to accept your child, you have to accept your child first.
So as a parent, how worried are you about when you pass away?
God, Allah, Bhagwan, universe, what you may call it, has his own ways. We don't know about ourselves,
The word is called neurodivergent.
Neurodivergent. Okay.
Yes,
Yeah.
that's the word nowadays used. But no, the reason I bring up that topic is, autism has went from 1 in 10,000 to now being 1 in 50.
Yeah, it will increase. There has been research done that why autism happens, but there can be several reasons. And one of the most probable reason is the chemicals we are taking in our bodies through food, let's say through our everyday cleaning stuff, pollution basically around us, eating habits. So, this all adds up. Some say that there are some vaccinations which may cause generational harms, which if I have a vaccination done, my son may not have it, but his son or daughter may have autism. It comes down in the genes.
So
sorry.
No, I was about to say, for as you as a parent, did you know that your son was neurodivergent from the moment you held him in your arms?
I knew when I was pregnant.
Okay.
Yeah.
How?
I was in my 5th month, and I went through some stomach infection. I had to be admitted, and then when there was after follow-up checkups and everything, my doctor suspected that there's something wrong with the child, with the baby, and she got me done some reports to confirm that. I was in Pakistan, and then she told me that, okay, the baby is not, the size of the baby is not matching with the gestational age. The head is fine, but the femur is smaller. So there may be some problem. We don't know what is the problem. And if there is any problem, we can't help it. We can't reverse it.
That must have been very difficult to hear.
Yes. I'm sorry for the...
No, apologize.
It was not difficult. I was trying to figure out what can go wrong and how can I help it. So when she told me and I asked her, I said, can you reverse it? There are medicines or anything? She said, we can't do anything about it. We just need to see what is it. He was born at the end of 8th month. He was just 1.08 kgs, like this size, but he had all the limbs. Mm-hmm. He was just skin and bones, literally. There was no flesh, no eyebrows, no hair. But I saw him after 2 days when he was born, and I checked. He had all, I just think that, what if he was born without a hand, without one finger, without eyes? But he's, mashallah, a beautiful boy. There are researches, which says that vaccine can cause autism, and they modify the genes. But the industry, the mafia, the doctors, the medicines, and the drug stores, and people who are making the medicines, they don't want it to be proved. So there is always a fight. And these researchers have been hushed, because they've asked, they've not been so much publicized, because they're scared that, if they are able to prove this, then there will be a huge market which will not do vaccination for kids, and there will be loss for them,
Well, a pharmaceutical company makes about $30 billion of revenue
Yeah. They do.
per vaccine.
Yeah. I know in my family, my cousins, they have not gotten their children vaccinated, and they're fine.
Well, a lot of parents who have children that have some sort of neurodivergencies or disabilities, they often hide them away because either they're worried about how the rest of the family, or they're worried about how to be
stigma.
acceptance and the stigma. It's not easy. And I know that a lot of kids at my school would often walk down there and throw sticks at them, throw stones at them, make fun of them. So there was an aspect of cruelty involved in that. And
so
you don't know. I don't know how to
see. I tell you,
it got so bad at one point that the school had to change at least the break schedule.
I keep my son inside, hide from the society, just to protect him. And one day I'm not there. What will happen to him? So that's why, instead of hiding our kids from the society, why not educate people how to deal with them? I have had experiences where my child has been bullied in front of me, and I was not upset at the kids, I was upset at the parents, because
naturally
the kids were not educated enough how to deal with my son, and they didn't know how to educate themselves. There comes the responsibility of the parents. And
I hear where you're coming from, but I think what my concern is, as a parent, of course, you look at it from a macro perspective of your child. Yes. My worry is because I don't have any children, so my worry is from a state perspective, the macro appeal on it. If 1 in 50 kids have some sort of neurodivergence and need assisted living, who's going to pay for that?
Yeah.
It's cruel to say from an avenue, right? But it needs to be also set up as a system. Otherwise, what's going to happen to these poor people?
Exactly.
Are they going to end up like in America? A lot of them just sit in the street.
Yeah, they have you're right. So
can you look up California homeless?
So, I'm sorry, I'm cutting you.
No,
but
it's fine.
It has to be done on a government level. The government, we have to, on a state level, right? And the parents, they have to voice their thoughts, their concerns. We as parents, we have the responsibility. Nobody's going to come and help us.
It should be a huge issue that 1 in 50 people are autistic. It is
it's a huge issue, yes.
That it should not be normalized. It should not be like, we should not have a conversation about going, well, it's 1 in 50,
Yeah, exactly.
When it was 1 in 10,000 20 years ago.
Yeah.
This is...
It's alarming. It's alarming.
And that's my worry. When you normalize an issue and when you're saying an acceptance towards it, you kind of then just be like, it is what it is.
Yeah. No. When I say acceptance, I don't mean that, you just have to accept it like, okay, this is one of the problems and we can't do anything. We have to identify the problem and accept that there is a problem and we have to do something about it. Acceptance in that way,
WHO listed that 25% of the human population have some sort of mental disorder.
Yeah.
That is... one fourth of the world's population.
Yeah, because
that is a scary number that people don't talk about again.
Exactly. So we have to talk about it and accept that there is a problem, and we have to work on it seriously. It's a serious issue. So we are not accepting that it's an issue. That's the problem. Okay, there are people, everybody talk about it. Okay, yeah, we must do something about it. But sometimes I tell parents that we can build a community in our capacity. Like, we parents in Bahrain or we parents in any other world, we can build a strong community. We can voice our concerns to the government where we're living, or our origin country. But something has to be done. We can't just sit and talk.
I don't believe it's a governmental issue. I believe when it comes down to, it's a medical an issue in the sense of that the doctors and the medical institutions has failed the populace,
yes,
and allowing this kind of thing to occur. I mean, if we, again, just to drive home the point of those numbers of 80 billion people, that's 2 billion people. The number billion, for people don't really be able to understand how large that is. 1 billion seconds is 11 days. 1 billion seconds is 11 years. That's how big a billion is. It's unbelievable.
It's unbelievable. It's alarming, and it's going to increase.
What's the population of India? 1.8 million? 1.8 billion? Huh? 1.3 billion? And what's the population of Pakistan? So it would be almost like if everyone in India had a mental disorder, plus Pakistan, plus plus a neighboring country, in order to hit 2 billion. That's
it's mind-boggling. You're like, what the hell? See, as a parent, I am concerned about my son's future and what I can do on my own. That there are steps which we need to do, getting him familiar with my family, friends, also saving a certain amount for his future. Someone, nominating someone to be there for him after, if you're not there. So there are so many things we can do about it. But like I said, when I wrote this book and the Pakistani ambassador came to know about it, it's the first time in the history of Bahrain that, the Pakistani embassy reached out to me and they said that we want to register all the special need kids and Pakistani special need kids or young adults in Bahrain.
Mm-hmm.
We want to have a list of them. And we want to meet the parents. We want to include them in our events and all. It's a small step. If you look at it, it's a big step, but it's one by one, right? So very soon, the ambassador, His Excellency, Ambassador of Pakistan, will be meeting the parents to break the ice, and he will be asking them their concerns and all, and he will see what he can do to address them. So it's one step. These kind of things should be happening. Parents at a state level, where the state should provide some facilities for these kids, like including them for jobs, training centers, house like boarding houses for kids, kids who don't have a family or parents, they can live there. And I know so much is being done, but it has to be done on a state level. Individuals are doing it. Some organizations are doing it. It has to be done on a state level in each country, because as you said, the number is increasing and it's an alarming level, So parents like me, if I look at from a big perspective, I always quote this thing. It's a quote from Mother Teresa, and it's such a big inspiration for me that Mother Teresa once said that, don't think that you are a drop in the ocean. Think that the ocean is less without that drop of water. So if I think that, what I can do as a, single, I'm a parent, what I can do, I can't do anything. There are so many people, big organization, big names are doing, so what I can do, I can't do anything. If nobody can help it, how I can help it, Let me just think about my son. Let me just resolve his issues. But no, if I stand up and if I'm able to make one single change, even it's a small change, the big changes or the big, what I can say, the big changes which will happen, my one change will be a part of it, and the big change will be less without my one change, small change. So, and one after the other, it leads to big changes. If I keep making small changes, I want to educate parents, I want to educate people. People come to me and they ask me, we want to help these kids, we don't know how, to interact. Families dealing with newborns, they don't know how to act. I'm not an expert, but I just shared my experience, how I dealt with it and what can be done. So if I change one life, if I change one mind, I think it's worth it. And sure, it helps on a bigger level. So we can't just sit here and think that I can't do anything about it. I don't have resources, or I'm not famous, and people with big organizations, big names, they're already doing it and nothing is happening. So what I can do, I don't think so I can do anything. No, this has to be, people should, whatever they can do, we have to think what we can do. Everyone has some speciality they have. You have to figure out. Like, when I was, my father used to tell me, why don't you write a book? And my friend, I was like, it was too early. I thought like that, my God, I have to be a PhD to write a book. It's a big responsibility. But then years later, I realized, then my friends asked me, why don't you write a book? So when someone asked me what inspired you to write the book? And I said, the people trust and faith in me that my book can help others inspired me to write the book.
Here's what I would say on a larger front again. You can take a horse to water, but you can't make it drink the water. There are people who are doers and there are people that are sitters, I guess. You can preach and you can say and you can quote, you can do everything in the power to try to motivate people to get off the couch and do something. But in reality, it's not that case. Reality, there are people that go out and do things and people that don't. And you know them in your life, and you know them as your customers who come through your front door. There are people in your customer base where you're looking and be like, this person, they're going to be a great dancer, or they're going to do this, or they're going to be thin, or they're going to be whatever, because they're coming in and they're putting in the hours. And that other person, they don't care. You know what I'd learned?
Yeah.
No. Listen, this is also a key thing. People that are doers hang out with people that are doers. If you are listening and you go do things, then great. And more likely than not, the people that are listening are either in their car or in their gym doing something, or they're just sitting on their couch and just...
But do you think that's the responsibility of the doers to make the non-doers do something?
No, I believe everyone is born with their own innate abilities. And if you don't have the motivation to go and live your life, then you know what? There's nobody who can help you with that.
I just can't let go thinking that, doers will do anyways. I don't have to push them or, wake them up or be an inspiration.
I think this is where we're clashing, because I truly inherently believe that there is nothing that you can say to somebody. There's nothing that you can do to motivate somebody to go and change their life or take control of their decisions. I truly inherently believe that. And unless that person is willing to do it and is taking the steps to do it, there's no way.
Yeah, of course. But then you have to keep reminding them that you have to change.
This is crazy.
Yeah, I know.
This is, unfortunately. What are you talking now about?
No, unfortunately, but there are motivational speakers, and there are people who are teaching people everywhere, how to get up and how to get what you want.
I'm saying that the people that are doing things are doing it. And the people that don't want to do things are not.
Yeah, of course. But
and there's no way,
there's
no way you can ever get a doer. I've met people. I have met people in my life who will come to you and say, this is my business plan. And you can tell them, you know what? It's a stupid plan. I don't think it'll work out. They will look at you and say, fuck you. I'm going to do it now just to spite you.
Yeah.
I'm going to work harder. I'm going to prove you wrong. Fuck you. And there's other people that if you said, oh, this is a great business plan. Yeah, you should do it. They go, oh, I don't know. I don't know if I have enough money. I don't know if I have enough time.
Yeah.
I would have to go and ask for a bank for a loan.
Yeah.
I would have to sell my house. I'd have to sell my car.
Or I'm just lazy.
So
yeah, you're right. I've met such people. I've met both the kind. And I consider myself in the first group. If you tell me that you can't do it, I will say, I'm going to prove you wrong. And I'm going to get there. And I'm going to do it. First of all, the most important thing, faith in myself, and I have to be sincere with what I'm doing. If I'm not sure what I'm doing, how can I tell other people and how can I convince them if I'm not convinced myself, So I'm convinced myself what I'm doing is right and it's aligned with my purpose. It's aligned with my mission and vision in my life. And, that's why with that kind of faith, when I talk to someone, 99% I convert a stranger into a member. So
okay,
yeah.
That was the weirdest transition into a business sale I have ever heard. Okay.
What do you mean?
So you met a person. Now they're a part of the group member of your class, and they're paying $580 a class.
Yeah, that happens.
That. Okay,
because they just walked in and they asked me, "Okay, you have a dance workout studio. So what do you do?" It's easy to sell for to both adults and the kids also. But it depends, what is their goal? What do they want? So then I have to convince them that, okay, let's see, I have someone coming in. They say, okay, you don't have equipments. I say, yeah, I don't have equipments because
it's a dance studio.
It's a dance studio. And also, and also I believe in that you can work with your body weight. They ask question, they don't know. That's why they asked me.
Well,
like you can do without equipment.
I'm looking at you in this confused way because I don't understand what possible equipment a ballet dancer would need. What possible equipment would, a samba dancer would need.
Yeah, so see, I don't blame people because as I said, there are places which are offering dance workout classes and they have a separate section where people can just come and they can use the machines.
Yeah, it's a gym and class.
Yeah.
You were just a class.
I just class, and we encourage using their own body weights. And we try to teach people how to use your own body weight. Even if you don't have a machine at home, how can you do certain exercises? How you can heal yourself, So I don't want to quote my operating expenses.
It's not your operating expenses. That would be your max profitability.
Yeah, just I'm saying that, But
any moron can figure those numbers out. These are your expenses. Those are your income,
exactly.
and that's it. I mean, this is not trade secrets.
Yeah, this is not trade secrets. But just
any person with a what is it?
6,500.
Oh, there you go.
Yeah. You're right. But I'm saying that I don't want to quote too many numbers here just because, I'm not comfortable sharing. But yes, of course, you are right. The number and the calculation you did just now, you're right.
No, but it's this is one of the things I hate about business owners when they're trying to be like, ooh, I'm not very comfortable sharing it. I'm like any moron can figure it out. It's not like
I'm sorry you didn't like it, but this is
it's so like one of the things that we were hired to do is from a consultancy. A lot of the times we would send people out and to go to various classes to competitors and figure out those numbers, and we'll publish them online. That's what we used to do as a financial service and then as a job.
Okay.
So it's not like
I will come to that. I will come to you for that later on. Maybe you can help with
my
me.
God.
So see, I'm not saying that, I'm right. I'm just saying that is my perspective. I may be wrong. I'm not saying that, okay, what I'm saying, I'm right, you are wrong. No, you may be right, I may be wrong. So it's just my perspective, and I'm learning. I'm not a business person by, I'm more someone told me that you are not business minded, you are service minded.
Okay.
So then and that person was right, because I'm more service minded. So I'm learning how to be a business minded also. So don't expect me to talk like a typical business owner, That's what I'm saying.
Sure, but if you want to operate as a business and you want to be a business owner, you need to adjust your attitude in order to fit in as that. Otherwise, you're going to have issues.
Yeah. And I'm learning that. Ahmed, see, before we started this, I mentioned you that what inspired me to open up my studio. I went through a health situation, and I thought, I can help people with dance workouts because it helped me.
Sure.
I don't care what is happening around. I just want my money. That's it.
I always find this very interesting. A lot of entrepreneurs who are still in their first couple of years say this to me, and that their vision and expectation is different than the result. Customers walk with their feet.
Yeah.
If you're not producing a great product, forget about imagining that you're going to be able to serve the market. They're just going to walk and go somewhere else, right?
Yeah, of course.
And that comes to the bottom of everything.
Yeah,
Every
of course.
business is there to serve its customers, right? And profit maximization is the aspect of then being able to serve more customers.
Yes.
Right?
Yes.
So it's as simple as that, right? And if your vision clashes what people want, then either change the vision or move on to the next project.
Yeah, or let's say see, there are teachers and preachers in the world, and they taught people something new. If
there's no such thing as a new idea.
See, Hamid, maybe I'm saying it wrong way. Your people are always learning. As I said, when something new comes up, or some new idea, there is always resistance first. Then the person who has come up with that idea, educate people. And you are right that, if it clashes, but I don't think so that, helping people with their health, people will not agree with me that, they will say, oh, we don't agree with your idea that you want to help us with our health.
What?
I don't know how to put it.
Who are these people?
I'm saying there's nobody like that, right?
Okay.
So my vision and mission is very much for the people, I'm saying there will be hardly anyone who will come up to me and tell me that, Amna, you are saying that you want to help us with our physical and mental health. It clashes with my idea of, I don't agree with you. I don't agree with you that, you can help us, or I don't agree with your ideology. They would probably want to know what my strategies are.
Okay, cool.
Yeah?
Thank you. Take care.
Yeah, exactly. Right. But I need to communicate to them that how I can help them, right?
This is just my personal belief on it. You're not Microsoft. You're not Apple. You're not in a customer base front where you have to educate millions of consumers on how to use your products. You're a dance studio. You will either attract people who are interested in dance, or you're not going to attract people who are not interested in dance. So you're not in the business of conversion. You're not a religion. You're not trying to convert people into dance.
See, I want to change the idea what people think about dance workouts. I am sitting in the studio and I can hear someone passing and say, oh, I wish I can join this studio one day. I wish I can dance. This is generally the attitude of people, Yeah, and I'm listening to what they have to say.
Who is saying this?
I don't know. I was just sitting in the studio and I can hear people going out and commenting this. Oh, I wish I can join this studio, dance studio. When the word come dance, people have absolutely very different ideas about dance workouts. This is what I want to change, that dance workout is a lot more to offer what people generally think it is. People just think that, they relate dance to something very professional, something which they need to prepare a lot for. They have to be in a certain shape for, or they have to have certain skills to even come to the dance workout studio. No, dance is just movement in a certain way. You go to the gym, you do bicep curls, you are dancing.
What are you saying?
You are moving. Your dance is movement. And yeah,
okay,
it may require to learn certain skills, but every exercise requires certain skills to learn that. Even as simple as a bicep curl, you need to learn how to do it properly.
I agree with your friends. You should work in a service-based business. Yeah. I agree with your friends.
See what I'm saying, Hamad. You can't just go and don't know anything about weights and you pick up a weight and you start doing a certain move and you say that, I'm doing a bicep curl and it will help with my biceps. You have to know how to hold a weight, how to stand properly, and you have to know...
Sorry, what year do you think we are in?
Sorry?
What year do you think we're in? This is not anymore the 1970s. This is 2020. Everyone who wants to learn how to lift a weight can look it up on YouTube.
No.
Everyone in this room.
I don't agree with that, especially with weights. You cannot... If I am a trainer and I am someone doing a wrong move, let it be a dance move or an exercise move, I can go up to that person. I can tell them that, see, you have to put your hands in a certain way. Okay? I can correct that person. I tell you, learning online exercises, this is the worst thing you can do to yourself, especially with weights. Okay, maybe certain yoga moves, maybe certain, Pilates exercises or certain regular exercises you can look up to Google and you can go online and you can learn by looking at it. But especially with dance and especially with weights, I don't agree that you can learn it online. After a period of time when you master certain moves, yes, you can. But as a beginner, if I'm teaching online, if you don't have any clue about weightlifting and I tell you that, Hamad, I can teach you online, I'm not doing a favor to you.
If people can become civil engineers and lawyers online, I will not...
That's different.
I will not believe that people cannot learn how to lift the weights online.
You can become a civil engineer learning online, but you cannot become a dancer and you cannot become a weightlifter online. If people are claiming that they can teach, and if people are claiming that they are learning, I'm sorry.
Dance, I would agree with you on that, because I think that's a sport that requires contact, like yoga, like ballet. I would agree with you on that. On weightlifting, I would totally disagree with you on that.
No, Hamad, that's 110%. The most important thing, because 110%. That's where the most injuries comes in. I have members who have injuries mostly from weightlifting. How can I go and correct a person? I can say, oh, please, your back is curling. Stand straight.
But this is personal responsibility, though. If that person isn't willing to go look online on how to do things and exercises properly, like how to squat properly, how to deadlift properly, then hey, you know what? It's on your own head.
Yeah, but being a trainer, it's my responsibility that if I see something going wrong, I have to go and correct it. I can't just leave it on that person. I can't say, oh, it's that person's own responsibility to take care of him.
If he's coming there to pay you a service, then it's an other animal. If you're just sitting there in the gym and somebody's doing squats and you're not liking his positions of his rotations of his hip.
But the humanity comes in.
Forget the humanity of it. Do you think you would enjoy it if some dude came up to you and while you were squatting and saying, "Hey, your form isn't correct"?
I would love that.
Most people, I'm telling you, would hate that.
You. Yeah, I know. Are you doing something different? You know? So
who's got time for that?
Suddenly,
you're wanting to do your workout, right? You're doing chest or back, right? And some dude is doing squats or lady, and they're not doing squats correctly, or they're not doing the deadlift correctly, and you look at it and going, you know what? Let me take the spot next to them and start trading squats or deadlifts.
If I'm not comfortable telling that person, you know, but I would just go and introduce myself, and I would say, nicely that I'm a certified trainer. Please don't get offended. And I've been observing you. It's up to you. But I just think that by doing this, you may harm yourself. I'm sorry. I don't want to offend you. I just want to help you. And that's how I learned, because people corrected me. I'm not saying you are wrong. You are doing, I don't want to prove myself here, but I'm just trying to help, you know, or I'm just trying to inform you that maybe this is, you know, you can ask anyone. But I'm a certified trainer, and I'm sorry I couldn't help coming and, you know, asking you this, or, you know, informing you about this. This is, I believe that it's my duty as a trainer to do that. I'm really sorry if I have offended you. If you want to carry on how you want to carry on, please. And I did not mean to offend you.
But before you were going through your third word, I would have put my headphones back on. Get on with my set.
Okay, that's okay.
No,
I would not get offended.
But this is what I'm saying. I mean, maybe I'm crazy. What about the three of you guys? Would you appreciate it, somebody stopping you while working out?
Yes.
Are you serious?
There was a guy at the gym actually who told Pranic
Thank you
to do the right thing.
And?
We were like, yeah, thank you, man. Thank you.
See? Things are changing, Hamad.
Yeah, you're with me on this, Akashi?
Yes, I would throw the bottom.
We've had people on who live in Tibet in monasteries, and they claim that they live with X-Men, meaning they have like supernatural powers and they can move objects with their mind.
Yeah. Yeah, there are all sort of people.
I don't know.
There are people. There are hypnotists. There are people who, as you said, they're
hypnosis and a guy who can move things with their mind. These are not the same crowd.
No, Hamad, you can.
So if somebody tells you they can move objects with their mind, you would be like, yes?
It's possible.
No way.
Yeah.
No way.
It is possible.
No way.
Did you see that program, Oprah Winfrey with Deepak Chopra? If you
Okay.
close your eyes, and if I tell you, Hamad, can you feel the tingling in your, bring your awareness to your fingers?
Of course, I can feel tingling on my fingers or my toes.
Okay.
But that's a neuroleptic
That's all
response.
about bringing awareness. No, see, if you can do this to yourself, everything is energy. You can. If I say, okay, Hamad, now bring your awareness to your toes. Feel the tingling in your toes. You can, right? Now I say, close your eyes and imagine you are eating a lemon.
I can taste a lemon, of course. The power of the mind. But that's all what you've explained to me are internal. I can't be like, I'm moving the cup of water. I'm putting my energy towards the cup and the cup is moving. It's not moving. You know what I mean? I like how you looked at the cup.
But, I would try to see, what made this happen. Like, is it magic? Is it hypnosis?
So you believe in magic as well?
Of course, there is magic. There are so many scholars who are helping people to get rid of the black magic done by...
How many people still learn black magic, though? It's not like there's a school that you can go and teach and learn it.
They have to go through a very dirty process and, they have to do certain kind of dirty things. And then, they have to do some kind of, these rituals alone. And basically what happens is that they try to capture the entities, negative entities from around us. And the portal gets open and then the entities come and then they try to get the work done from them, So you believe in jinns or not? Angels, jinns, no?
I'm not very religious, no.
Okay. No, it's not about religion. It's like, they're
I'm not even
preaching-
sure whether me or you or anybody is real.